Since the Democratic Constitution of 1992, we have held 8 elections, out of which only 3 of the last elections had women's quota of 20%, to have each of the political parties, at least 20% of the candidates, to be women. But rather than being at a minimum ceiling, it's often seen by political parties as you barely reach 20% should be sufficient enough. The experience has been, though, that at the local level, the women get actually more support by community and also at the local, and elected into the local parliament as well. It's only starting from the 2022, from the 8th election, the local election, that we have had women's quota of 20%, but the experience has been more than 30% of the local parliament members are women, because women work much more closely with the community at the grassroots level. And secondly, also because local election, the financial burden is less so. And usually, school teachers, doctors, social workers get the kind of support that are needed at the local level, and the financial requirement of the burden is less so. What we have done in the past is we have been working with many of the development partners, and they have urged, especially the political parties, to champion to have more women in parliament. The experience is, even though within the last 30 years, economically we have grown significantly, and democracy has become much stable, but at the same time, education, healthcare, children's issues and gender issues has dwindled, and we have even seen a decline from the Soviet era. And at times we have had only 2 parliament members out of the 76. Within the last 3 parliaments, when we have had a minimum quota of 20%, we have had 11 women from 2012 to 16, and since 2016, 13 women each, which is 17% and well below the Asia average and also the world average. It can sometimes often be seen as should be enough, but at the same time, 17 women have to bear the burden of answering to questions that pertain to women, 51%, and also the children, which is around 34% of the population. And sometimes I jokingly say, you expect the 17% of parliament to be responsible for 67% of the population. And that is really unfair. Starting from 2024 now, with the new constitutional amendment of 2023, we will be having the parliament members has increased from 76 to 126, and out of which 48 will be from the proportionate list of the political parties, and the 78 to run in the districts. The proportionate list of 48 will be zipped by gender, so it will be either men, woman, or woman, men, which means ultimately 24 women will enter into politics from the proportionate list of all the political parties. And also 14 other women will be running from the districts. We expect that from the next election, which is in June of 2024, we expect at least 39 women to be represented in parliament. The election law also stated that 2024 will have 30% women's quota, 2028 will be 40%. And so we will be championing, especially in terms of women's political participation, to be one of the champions in Asia and even probably worldwide. Another thing is we have recently passed a law on political parties, which states that for a woman also to be represented in parliament, their political parties would have to be supportive of women, and it has dictated how much. It dictated that at the political party leadership level, more women needs to be represented, and also state funding will be increased towards gender quota, gender participation as well. Another important thing is the media campaign. Unfortunately, the social media has been quite unforgiving towards women. They're often criticized, and I think it's not only in Asia and Mongolia, but also even in the Western world, towards what they're wearing, their family affairs, etc., can be smeared pretty much all over media. And in Mongolia, we have initiated a News for Equality Media Professionals Network, which has about 500 members. And we're trying to train the media to be more gender sensitive in its reporting, and also to support to have more women in politics, to ensure that their voices are heard and the decisions are made to be much more gender sensitive.